de cette série. Oh. Ok. Excusez-moi. Je voulais un peu visiter cet endroit, parce que ça m'étonnerait pas qu'il y ait des trucs à récupérer. Voilà, parfait. Donc on va aller voir notre fausse mère. Je viens d'apprendre que ce n'est pas ma mère. Et on va donc voir ce qui se passe. On va sûrement lire dans ses pensées. Donc de concealer. On progresse. Alors les pièces de collection, je sais pas si elles vont avoir une utilité à la fin. Mais bon, on va voir. Moi je me souviens de la grille tout là-bas, au tout début du jeu, que je ne pouvais pas atteindre. Et je ne peux plus l'atteindre. J'aurais vraiment été curieux de savoir ce qu'il y avait là-dedans. On est quasiment full, chose qui n'était jamais arrivée depuis un bon bout de temps. Ça faisait longtemps même.
Oh no! No, Mother!
Louis, it was an accident, I'm sorry. I didn't have a choice. She attacked me.
Je m'y attendais pas.
I didn't want to hurt her.
What happened?
I was on the wharf. It was dark.
Ah,
She seemed to be preparing to depart. I moved closer. I wanted us to talk, but as soon as she saw me, she threatened me. I wanted her to explain to me in her own words what had happened to Emma. I had to know what happened, Louis. You understand that, don't you? Is it really for him that you left me, Emily? That's pathetic. Look, he still doesn't get it for crying out loud.
C'est Emma?
Emma? Oh, the bitch. Bitch.
What? Louis, what's wrong with...
No, you are not Emily.
Ah, that. It took you long enough to figure it out, though. Oh, I felt sorry for you when I saw you couldn't even recognize her, Louis. What do you expect?
No,
it wasn't my fault. Yes, you spent a night with her. She can't have made much of an impression on you. Oh, men.
Shut it.
And when I think she wasn't even armed when I arrived. Right. Take a moment to think and meet me at the manor later.
You're crazy.
Now, Louis, don't push it. I understand your grief, but I won't put up with that sort of talk from you or anybody.
Die, you bitch.
C'était la pire mort. Je sais pas si j'ai bien fait. Je m'y attendais pas du tout. Ok, je sais pas du tout si c'était une bonne chose. Ah, j'aurais pu la sauver? Non, comment j'aurais pu faire? Ah, donc j'ai réussi à la tuer. Donc ça, c'était quelque chose à faire. 109. Si j'avais su, j'aurais fini avant. Mais comment j'aurais pu la sauver? Je comprends pas.
Rational and open. I spent my whole life swimming in lies. Emily, what a waste. I feel like I know nothing. That I have to learn everything all over again. I'm a demon. I age more slowly. I can mentally manipulate people. I don't even know if it's a good thing or a curse. No, this is an advantage. I could get used to this pretty quickly, I think. Damn it, what a mess. Come on, man up, Louis. I'm still the same old me. Demon or not, I'm still in charge of my actions. And this father, I know nothing about. Yes, I've still got a lot to learn. It's enough to drive you crazy. Everything I believed in, nothing holds true anymore. Pull yourself together, man. I need to find some answers. There's no way of being alone for a minute.
Putain, mais je vais toujours vouloir lire les pensées, hein.
Sir Gregory?
Good day, Louis. I think it would be good to talk. How are you feeling?
I don't know.
I understand. I heard that William spoke to you at last about our nature and our family. It's a good thing, but you must be a bit shaken up.
That's the least you can say.
I bid you welcome among us, Louis. Knowing William, he probably didn't go into any detail about our family, so if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask.
How long has our family been in existence?
We have been here since the very beginning.
What do you mean, exactly?
Are you trying to get information?
No, not at all.
Attends.
I was just wondering why that particular question seemed to disturb you.
Let us not insist, then. You yourself weren't very convinced by the question, it seems.
Ok.
How many of us are there in the family?
We are 8 brothers and sisters.
What do you mean by brothers and sisters if we can change bodies?
You reason with logic. We have retained the human habit. When we first come into this world, we retain a certain attachment to our first envelope. If we are born as a man, we are brothers. If we are born as a woman, we are sisters. But I must admit, it has absolutely no real importance. They're just bodies.
Well, tell me then, are there any other families like ours?
There are officially 7, but we're the oldest and therefore the most powerful.
Is there a head of the family?
You'll see. You'll meet them all, of course, when you are ready. They created us and set out the rules, especially our father. As for our mother, she retired from the political stage. We don't see her much anymore. I think that all these questions simply bore her.
What's Lord Mortimer's problem?
I think he allows himself to be devoured by a need for recognition.
Has he always been like that?
More or less, but thinking about it, I believe that the birth of our latest sibling greatly accentuated his discomfort.
Do you think he's jealous?
I didn't realize you were so good at behavioral analysis. Indeed, William certainly is prone to jealousy. Finding one's place, notably in the eyes of our father, is not easy, and we each do what we can to succeed. But I can't justify this perpetual rebellion against our rules.
I see. There is still much to learn.
Yes, it's true. You've got some catching up to do, my boy. One thing you must understand, regarding any disagreements that might arise between William and myself, is his position with regard to mankind.
What do you mean?
Well, for centuries we've been trying to help, and therefore preserve humanity. Monarchies are simple and practical. They enable us to inspire humanity efficiently, and I can't understand why William wants to replace them with democracy.
On va se le mettre de notre sens.
Well, if our goal is to direct the future of humanity, it'd work out easier through a monarchic system rather than a democracy.
I see you're a quick learner. From now on, you know the fence that separates William from the rest of the family. If only he would stop steering the destinies of certain countries like France or the United States of America in such a dangerous direction. It has taken centuries for our family to establish relative peace between demons. Thanks to this policy, we have been able to decide everything by confining the other families to subordinate roles. And now William is obsessed with disrupting everything.
Peace between demons? What do you mean?
I'm not talking about conflicts within our family. If that was all there was, everything would be fine. But several other families, younger but nonetheless powerful, are trying to upset the balance. At present, we dominate most of the major countries around the globe. But some families are pushing, via less influential countries, to gain ground. Do you understand?
As best I can, yes.
When the time comes, you must take up a position on the political chessboard. I only hope your father doesn't take you down with him.
Are you trying to warn me that I'm in danger?
That, Louis, will be up to you to choose. Most of all, make sure you don't pick the wrong side. William has had all the time he needs to think about this. You do not. I'm sorry to say this, but this first choice might well be of capital importance to your future. I want you to make an informed choice. Now go and see your father, see what he has to say, and then think it over very carefully.
That's exactly what I intended to do. Thank you, Uncle.
Don't mention it. If I've been able to help you in any way, go now.
Ok. Giuseppe, comment vas-tu, mon ami?
His Holiness awaits my report.
Je sais pas trop comment me positionner par rapport aux autres. C'est quand même sous les Washington.
Louis, busy as always, I see. How lucky you are. I must admit I'm trying to kill the boredom myself.
I get the impression we're all in the same boat.
And here I was thinking you might have some juicy gossip.
Well, Mr. Godoy heard that we are expecting a last-minute guest.
Pardon?
Yes, a certain Al-Azif.
Strange. Doesn't ring a bell.
Well, I might as well not hang out here any longer, if he has nothing to say.
Me neither.
He must have misunderstood. The conference has started. Godoy is a little too used to court intrigue, if you ask me.
I agree with you. Well, nevertheless, I hope I have distracted you a little.
Yes, thank you, Louis. I don't need much. And don't hesitate if you ever do have any news.
I won't, Mr. President.
Ok, c'était pas très utile.
Louis, I was sure you would stay. I'm proud of you. You've made the right choice. You must have been disappointed not to have been able to speak to Sarah one last time. I would have liked her to tell you herself.
Well,
Je comprends pas
I
comment
guess
j'ai
I'll
pu
never know
louper,
now.
hein. Comment
True.
j'aurais pu faire autre
Even
chose.
so, there is one more thing I haven't told you about her. Sarah was my daughter.
what? But why didn't you tell me the truth about
C'est un
her?
sketch.
I thought that might be too many truths to absorb at one time. I intended to tell you afterwards. You were in a hurry, so I made a decision. You've been able to understand and choose for yourself. How do you feel?
Hard to say. Quite curious to find out more. My whole way of thinking has been blown apart in just a couple hours.
What could be more normal? It may have been a bit brutal, but you've just grown up in a very short space of time. From now on, you can influence your own future. I will guide you. We've all the time we need.
You're not the first to make me that offer.
What do you mean by that?
Your brother, Sir Gregory.
Gregory. Why am I not even surprised? What did he say?
I think he's worried about you.
Worried? Marvelous. That's just like him. You know, in a family like ours, we all have a role to play. And his is to worry about everyone else. Let me reassure you, there's no reason for him to worry about me.
And what would my role be in all of this?
That's for you to decide. I'm not trying to force you, Louis. I have high hopes for you, but the decision remains yours to make. I don't impose anything on anyone. I'm just following my own path.
But where does it lead?
I suppose I should explain. For centuries now, demons have emerged in and around great leaders all over the world. But like true tyrants, they have governed with an iron fist in a studded glove.
That's the impression I get.
But you see, people's discontent is increasing, and they are too high up to hear it. They take themselves for gods. Sooner or later, the people will turn against us, just as they have in the past. Each time it's happened, many of us have died. We must master the humans, yes, but gently. And the best way of doing that is by allowing them a free choice, Louis.
You really are trying to liberate men.
Of course not entirely, no. It is easier to keep control over people who slumber than people who are oppressed. A man with nothing to lose is a dangerous man. Whereas if you give him a roof, food, and entertainment, he will do whatever you want. The best way of getting them to achieve something is to make them think it was their idea. For that, they have to feel as if they are free.
Hang on. What do you mean?
Look at the United States. From the start, I introduced an idea that will change everything. The idea that everything is possible. Everyone can become someone. Is there anything more beautiful?
You mean it's not true?
Man can move mountains when he believes it is in his own interest. And what nobler cause is there than his own freedom?
Do you have any more examples?
Of course.
Talk to me about slavery.
Well, take the slave trade, for example. It's an archaic practice that simply has to stop. Today, black slaves in America work for free and in unbearable conditions. Tomorrow, if you free the blacks and offer them work along with a salary, they will bless you for it. Then, they will be integrated into the system. They will be taxable. Once they are free, they will have to work for a roof, pay taxes, and feed their families. Maybe we could take away the civil rights of prisoners, for example. In this way, we'll keep control of all those who respect the system and benefit from the others as workforce.
And what would you propose for women?
They must be given the right to work and to vote. Look, at the moment, they don't work. They take care of raising children. What a mistake. We have to get them out of the house. Make them work. In this way, not only will they become consumers, but they will also delegate the job of education to the system. We could guide humanity from a young age, Louis, don't you see? Today, we are wasting too much time.
Tell me what you think about progress.
Progress is essential, Louis. It's the future.
What else?
Progress must liberate humanity from burdensome chores. Progress must replace man wherever his presence is not obligatory. It creates both the desire and the need. It will liberate women as soon as the machines are able to do all the chores in the home automatically. It will bring men together by bringing a faster means of locomotion. Look at the cultural revolution that printing brought about. What obscurantism! By harping on this concept of good and evil, guilt and redemption, look where men are now, locked up in beliefs that should no longer exist. It's time for men to rediscover themselves and to take control of their lives as they really are, without any moral judgment. But the most important of all has already been laid, the foundation stone, freedom of speech. The First Amendment of the Constitution.
Et le
There
deuxième?
must be opponents to every project. So, above all, don't develop a one-track approach. Otherwise, man won't have enough room for expression to feel free. If man sees his chains, he will
Je dis
only
c'est
want
réel,
to
un truc
break
comme
them.
ça, ouais.
If we give men the feeling that they are free, I am convinced that they will exceed, and it is only from that condition that humanity shall rise up.
But do you want to dominate or raise humanity higher?
I want it to advance. I want it to progress. Man is our vessel. If he progresses, then so do we. Wouldn't you like to know what we really are?
Who do you mean? Demons?
Yes, us. Our species. I've been searching for centuries, trying to find a way to explain the reason of our existence. But humanity has not yet evolved enough to make any progress on the subject. I am convinced that the sciences will bring that knowledge someday.
So, that's your objective, is it? To understand who we are. I see your point.
Our family clings to its privileges and
Monsieur
to
le
the
Roi.
past, and that's how they are putting us in danger. The time has come for change. Now that you know your true nature, there are still a few things I need to teach you.
What do you mean exactly?
A new skill, and not the least, Louis. It's about taking control of a person.
I don't see how I could do that.
I shall help you the first time.
How do you do it?
It's an animal resonance. How it works is still a bit unclear even to us.
Like a wave or a sound?
That seems the most likely, yes. In my opinion, demons are capable of tuning their psychic frequency to that of others. That is why, for example, I tend to surround myself with deaf and dumb servants. The servants dressed in black. I infiltrated them. I opened a channel between them and me, and then I deprived them of speech and hearing. This way, no other demon can turn them against me.
Okay, let's not waste any more time.
I deduce that you're impatient to master what's in store for you. That is good. I thought I'd mix business with pleasure for this first time.
What do you mean by that?
The conference will come to a close shortly, as you know. Not that I'm fed up with archaic diplomacy, but it's time to ensure the success of this project. To make this happen, I would like Piaget to inform the Pope he has
You're
changed
going
sides.
to use your powers to alter the votes?
The real game is about to begin, Louis. Up till now, the guests have been sizing each other up. From now on, it's time for Gregory and myself to play, as well as you yourself. Now, here is my plan. I would like you to join His Eminence in his room.
Just play along. We'll see when the time comes. Very well. And then?
You're going to have to trust me. What we're going to do is painless for the human you are going to invade.
Invade?
Yes, you're going to enter his mind and take control. You're going to influence his actions and his psyche. Make him speak, then concentrate. You must focus on him in order to feel his thoughts. Then, while speaking, you must link with him. Once you're done, you will naturally find your way to the source and enter into his thoughts.
But what if I fail?
Trust in your instincts. You just have to let yourself
Pas
go.
convaincu là.
You
Hein.
have the skill. Let your nature come to the fore. You'll see. If you fail, you'll be in for some light banter with His Eminence. That's all. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Very well.
Perfect. Go now. The Cardinal is in his room. You will have to write a letter to the Pope as if Piaggi had written it himself. In this letter, tell the Pope that whatever happens during the conference, he must follow my propositions. But be careful. In order to protect himself from counterfeiters, the Pope had Piaggi's hand tattooed with a symbol to be sure of his identity. You'll see when you're inside him. You'll understand. Once it's written up, just bring it back to me and I'll send it off immediately.
All right.
Ok,
I'll take
bon,
care
on va
of it.
faire ça et on s'arrêtera là. Tiens, je m'attendais tellement pas à ça comme jeu là au début. Alors, c'est parti.
Ah, well, Louis, what brings you back to my chambers?
May I sit down?
Of course, Louis. Don't you feel good?
Yes, but if I'm gonna pass inside you, I'd better sit myself down first.
It's nothing, don't worry about it.
Well, what can I do for you?
Right. Now I need to concentrate.
I wanted to speak to you, Your Eminence. I wanted to thank you for your help. I mean, for your time talking to me about the Holy Lance.
Oh, and did you find it? It's the crusade of a lifetime for some people, Louis. You are searching for another holy grail.
You're nearly there. Link into his thoughts.
Does it annoy you at all?
But what on earth is he trying to get at? Why do you ask, Louis? I don't follow.
For the glory, Your Eminence.
I can feel it coming. It's working.
What insolence. Why, really? I am a man of the church, Louis. May God keep me from such ambitions.
Right. Let me in, Your Eminence.
Why?
I've done it. I've done it, damn it. He was right. This is just crazy. I can't believe it. Look at yourself, Louis. You better not get caught. Whoa. I still need to get used to this body. So, let's see about what Mortimer asked me.
Right. It's time I got started. Let's see what I can find here to help me write that letter. I have no means to validate my forgery, so I better take my time with it and not make any mistakes. There are 2 letters from the Pope on the desk. I should be able to get a clue or 2 by checking how well they correspond to each other. And here are 3 stamps. All are different.
Mon état de santé. Changer de tampon pour celui figurant ma devise. Voilà, 17 janvier, ok, ça là c'est un peu récent. EHHBCF.
Right. Well, let's start writing. Lord Mortimer asked me to discredit Sir Gregory and to announce Piaggi's final vote in his favor. As an introduction, Your Holiness, thank you for your trust. It even appears that Lord Mortimer and Sir Gregory both have access to obscure, superior forces to help them reach their ends. I think the Papal States, for the sake of their own preservation, ought to condemn this practice of conferences in the future. There's a kind of code composed of 6 letters that they always write under the dates of their correspondence. According to Mortimer, it's got something to do with Piaggi's tattoo. I guess I'll have to write one for today's date. Now, ideally, it'd be better to do without it, but I'm going to need to be extremely clever here. Today, the date is 24/01/1793. In the letters from the Pope, there are 6 letters just below the date, 2 just below the month, 4 others below the year.
Piaggi's tattoo. It must be used to establish a connection between the letter of the concentric circle and the number shown in the middle. Some figures are the same in both codes, yet they correspond to different letters. The day is not translated. That must be the key to the code. Today the date is 24/01/1793.
Quoi?
In the letters from the Pope, there are 6 letters just below the date, 2 just below the month, 4 others below the year. Piaggi's tattoo. It must be used to establish a connection between the letter of the concentric circle and the number shown in the middle. Some figures are the same in both codes, yet
C'est en
they
français.
correspond to different letters. The day is not translated. That must be the key to the code. Today the date is 24/01/1793.
Alors attendez, 31, 12. Attends, parce que EH. Donc là, il y a bien 17 EH, enfin E, pour 17. Je comprends pas.
In the letters from the Pope, there are 6 letters just below the date, 2 just below the month, 4 others below the year. Piaggi's tattoo. It must be used to establish a connection between the letter of the concentric circle and the number shown in the middle. Some figures are the same in both codes, yet they correspond to different letters. The day is not translated. That must be the key to the code. Today the date is
Le jour n'est pas traduit.
24/01/1793.
24. Je sais pas, le A.
Today the date is 24/01/1793.
Honnêtement, je comprends pas, les gars. Hein.
I could pretend that the code got erased during the voyage.
Ouais, parce que je comprends pas et j'ai pas envie de faire des conneries.
The letter arrived in really bad condition. That would be perfectly understandable given that it's traveled across the seas, right? In one of the letters, the Pope asked Piaggi to change and to stop using his personal stamp. He asked him to use the one with the Pope's motto on it. And I remember that. Flore in Domo Domini. Must be in Latin. Justitia, misericordia, e humiltà. Boy, I gotta brush up my foreign language. I think it's in Italian. Justice, mercy, and humility. On it is written, Flore in Domo Domini. Latin, it blooms in the house of God.
Your Eminence, all ready to send... What's he doing here?
Damn it. That's all I need.
Don't worry, he can't hear us.
What do you mean he can't hear us? What's going on here, Piaggi? The old goat is going to drop us. It's a lousy turncoat. Well, he'd better not tell me he just fell asleep.
Calm down now. Monsieur de Richet came to see me because he was having anxiety attacks and wanted something to help him relax. I'm afraid I've been a little heavy-handed.
You can say that again.
I was about to fetch someone to take care of him. Would you care to go?
There he is. And there he stays. The perfect opportunity.
What do you mean?
It's been a while now that I've been hoping for a chance to get rid of him. Can you keep a secret?
No, I don't think I'd like to know about anything that would justify such an act.
I don't know what's wrong with you, but you really must pull yourself together. The conference will soon be on us, and I don't need you falling to pieces now.
Don't worry, I shall be there.
We've wasted enough time. What if he wakes up? If you don't want to get your hands dirty, just turn away and leave everything to me.
This is not a decision to be taken lightly.
You're defending him now.
What are you talking about? Of course not.
He's made you change sides, hasn't he?
Even if I confess, his arguments hit home.
So that's it. You don't even bother to hide it.
What's the connection between my vote and his life?
I knew you would end up changing sides.
Monsieur von Von, I always act in the best interest of all. I assure you.
Everyone's entitled to an opinion.
You must have lost your mind to want to take such an extreme course of action.
No one's asking you to help me do it. He is capable of reporting me to Sir Gregory. I'm really risking my neck here.
If you lay a finger on him, I'll denounce you to Sir Gregory. I'm warning you.
You old weasel! Very well, Piaggi, you win.
I refuse to let you do the first thing that comes into your head.
I don't know what the two of you are up to, but I'll find out sooner or later.
Right. Time for me to get back into my body. Right. Don't just stand there, Louis. Mortimer's waiting for you in the red salon.
Faut que je trouve des putains de trucs. Est-ce que vous pensez que je peux... On va s'arrêter. Mais je veux juste voir, est-ce que lui peut me donner des trucs pour soigner les altérations?
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service day and night, sir.
As I was unable to bring my personal effects with me, I was wondering if you could find me a few items.
Of course, sir. What would you require?
You wouldn't have a little golden elixir I could use, would you?
Oh, unfortunately, sir, I have orders not to give any of that medicine to any of Lord Mortimer's guests. Some guests are here to follow a very strict treatment. Mixing or combining certain substances would be dangerous for sir.
That's fine. I have no intention of swallowing this remedy. You see, I generally use it to put the shine back on my shoes. But maybe you'd rather I ask permission from Lord Mortimer. Where is he? I'd like to tell him about my shoe problem.
Sir need do nothing of the sort. There is no reason to disturb Lord Mortimer with this small matter.
As you wish.
Here you are, sir. I hope sir will have enough with one bottle, as I haven't any more.
Oh, I'll make do. It's good of you to get this much.
May I do anything else for sir?
Ah, ça enlève tout. Parfait. Parfait. Écoutez, on va s'arrêter là. On va juste passer la porte. En espérant qu'il n'y ait pas de cinématique. Voilà, écoutez, merci de m'avoir suivi et je vous dis à la prochaine pour le prochain épisode. Ciao!